White figures pacing construction sites at 2 a.m., hospital wheelchairs rolling on their own, guards holding full conversations with people you can't see on camera, and UFOs. These are disturbing things security guards captured during overnight shifts. This image was captured by a motion detector camera at a construction site in Birmingham. When the security guards went to check things out, there was nobody there. On August 18, 2020, motion sensor cameras were triggered at a construction site in Birmingham city center. The alert came in at 1:53 a.m., showing what looks like a woman in a long white dress walking through the site. She's leaning forward slightly, looks pale, and seems to be holding something in her hands. The alert was sent directly to Adam Lees, the managing director of Limitless Security, who was monitoring the site remotely. He immediately contacted the guards on duty and told them to investigate. They did a full patrol, but according to Lees, they went out straight away. It was within minutes, and there was no sign of anybody there or of anybody ever being there. It was really bizarre, end quote. The image really got under Lee's skin. He said, "Imagine looking at this image when you've been woken up at 2 in the morning and are half asleep. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I never believed in ghosts, but I can't explain this." Afterward, he tried to look into the history of the area, but he couldn't find anything obvious that explained what showed up on camera that night. This next one comes out of Thailand. Security footage at a hospital with a wheelchair rolling on its own. Hospitals, they're already heavy. I can only imagine how creepy it would be working at one overnight. At the start of the video, the wheelchair is completely still, and then without anyone touching it, it slowly rolls forward. A few seconds later, it stops and it starts moving again, this time rolling backward. The hospital director noticed the wheelchair parked outside an emergency room and couldn't figure out why it was there. That's what led him and other staff members to review the CCTV footage. What makes this even creepier is that this wheelchair had been donated to the hospital after its previous owner passed away. One commenter, a hospital worker, wrote, "This is a normal thing in a hospital, which all medical staff know. What they have to deal with every night aren't just patients." Others focused on the smaller details, watching the way the wheelchair pauses and changes direction. It's very strange. Working nights at a cemetery must be hair-raising enough as is, but security guard Joshua Runyon in Savannah, Georgia has had some especially eerie experiences. He started filming his shifts and posting the clips to TikTok. He wanted proof of all the strange stuff that kept happening. Stuff like this.
Jesus Christ.
Other nights were even worse. Joshua was on patrol one night when he noticed the lights flickering. He went to investigate, and this is what happened.
What's going on here? Nope. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, effing done is right. And it's not just voices either. Doors in the chapel have been caught moving on their own, opening and shutting without anyone there. In the mausoleum, he's recorded loud banging noises. Joshua says the activity got so intense that it drove another security guard to quit. The footage you're looking at here was captured by a security guard in Turkey, and it's not the only piece of footage he got. I mean, this is even crazier. This craft was supposedly filmed flying over the skies of Kumburgaz, Turkey. How often is it that we actually get to see, a detailed craft rather than just mysterious lights in the sky? All this footage comes from Yalchin Yalman, a night security guard who started noticing some really strange stuff in 2007. While on his shifts by the Sea of Marmara, he kept seeing weird lights in the sky. At first, he just watched, but then he bought a video camera so he could record what was happening. And between 2007 and 2009, he caught round, oval, sometimes triangular objects hovering in the night sky. Some locals say as many as 20 people saw these lights with them. The footage got shared online and quickly caught the attention of UFO researchers. A local UFO group said the objects couldn't be explained as birds, planes, satellites, or weather phenomena. Yalman even spoke about his sightings on TV and at events, insisting he had no idea what he was seeing, but that it was real. In 2023, this short security video began circulating online. The footage shows a security guard on an overnight shift at a hospital walking down a hallway on a routine patrol. The guard stops in front of a closed door. He starts speaking to someone, only we don't see anyone on camera aside from the guard. At one point, he refers to the person he's talking to by name. He calls her Abigail. At that same time, a colleague is watching a live camera feed from the security control room. From her perspective, the hallway is completely empty. Concerned, she radios him and asks, who are you talking to? Without hesitation, he answers, Abigail. And this is the co-worker's response.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
The security guard is like, "Can you repeat that, please?" And she's like, "Miss Abigail passed away 2 years ago." This next case is known as one of the strangest alien encounter stories in Europe. Back in December 6, 1978, in the mountains near Genoa, Italy, night watchman Pier Fortunato Zanfretta was doing his usual patrol at a mansion called Casa Nostra. Around 11:30 p.m., he noticed 4 strange lights in the garden, and both the gate and the front door were wide open. Thinking thieves might be breaking in, he went inside, where he saw a red oval object over 32 feet across. But that wasn't even the strangest part. There were also creatures, massive beings nearly 10 feet tall, with yellow triangular eyes and clawed feet. He screamed into his radio, "No, they are not men." And later he was found unconscious, in shock, and police discovered a large semicircular imprint in the garden. A few weeks later, Zanfretta claimed he'd been abducted, experimented on, and described the aliens in chilling detail. His direct quote, translated to English of course, "They are green with triangular yellow eyes. Their mouths look like they're made of iron. They come from the third galaxy." And just a little later that month, Zanfretta was driving his patrol car when he radioed in saying something was wrong. According to the operator, his voice suddenly went calm and flat as he said the car was driving by itself. He claimed the steering wheel and brakes wouldn't respond as the vehicle kept moving uphill through thick fog. When other guards finally found him around 1 in the morning, he was standing in a nearby field shaking and crying. Even though it had been raining all night, his clothes were also warm and completely dry. But these events eventually cost Zanfretta his security job when police revoked his firearm license. You probably wouldn't expect a whole lot to go down working overnight security at a school, but that was not the case for this next guard in Mexico. It had been a quiet night as usual when the guard noticed movement on one of the cameras, right by one of the entrances. When he looked at the camera, he jumped. This is what was standing outside. And she, or it, was messing with the door, trying to get in. Now, I know people can look kind of strange on CCTV cameras, but this is a whole other level. This security guard was sitting at his desk during an overnight shift, watching the cameras like usual. At some point, he starts talking to someone nearby. From the way he's reacting, it looks like a normal conversation. He's relaxed, responding, clearly engaged with whoever's there. The only problem is there is no one there but him. At least that's what the security camera shows, but later the guard insisted that he wasn't alone. He said he was talking to a new coworker who'd just started. Nothing seemed off to him at the time. The next day, he came back for his shift and he mentioned it. He asked why no one told him a new guy would be working with him the night before. And that's when everyone just stared at him. There was no new hire. No one was scheduled to work that shift but him. This footage comes from a social security building in 2020. It was uploaded to YouTube by Joshua Bragg, the person in charge of monitoring the motion-activated cameras. In the clip, you can see a dark shape drifting through one of the rooms. It floats across the space and then fades out of view. Bragg was clear about one thing right away. He said it was not a bug. According to him, the cameras were brand new, high-grade units, and the lenses were completely sealed. He also said he physically checked the camera afterward and didn't find anything on or inside it that could explain what showed up. He added that he'd always had a strange feeling about the building too. Nothing specific he could point to, but he had a constant uneasy vibe, like the place never felt empty even when it technically was. So whatever that dark shape was, he didn't believe it came from faulty equipment or something brushing past the lens. So that leaves one question hanging. If it wasn't a bug, it wasn't a camera issue, what exactly did the motion camera pick up that night? And this last story comes from a now deleted Reddit user who wrote, "I used to work overnights in a halfway house. One time, me and my coworker were chatting when we saw a guy on camera walking down an alley behind our place. The alley was our building, and a brick building on the other side with no doors. We thought one of our residents was running away. Pretty common, so I told my coworker to keep watching the cameras and I'll see who it is. The cameras were on the same fixture, one looking north, one looking south. The only blind spot was right underneath one of them. I walk out to see who it is, and there's no one in the alley. I radio back to my coworker, and she says he disappeared off one camera and never appeared on the other one. So he has to be in the blind spot. But he wasn't. There are no doors in that blind spot, or dumpsters, drains, anything. He literally just vanished. The only other doors on the other building were about 40 yards in each direction, both on camera. He literally just vanished. With all that said, I've been your host, James. I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next video.